welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Harmony Udiathe if you don't know me, and this is a Christian-based channel where we just talk about all things life, all things love, all things Jesus, and just navigating this walk with Christ together. Let me give you guys just a little life update. Lately, I've been good. I haven't posted in a while, but I have been good. I have been posting on my Instagram though. I've been trying to be more consistent with putting content out there. So follow my IG. I'm putting it up here somewhere. I've just been in my Bible, reading my Bible a lot, just getting closer to God and just giving all my burdens to him, because in the past I've noticed that like whenever I would try to walk with Christ and things would get too heavy or things would start to weigh me down, then I would start to like shift off and go other places and try to look for peace or love in other places. And this time I'm just trying to completely give everything to him, you know, instead of shifting off. So that's what I've been doing. I've been learning how to give God everything, even in the fire, in the deepest, hardest times, just giving him everything and trusting that he's gonna provide, trusting that he's gonna make way. So that's what life's been like for me. Hopefully all of you are well. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, something that I don't usually do. I think it'll be nice to spread some light on this and spread some truth about it. So I'm going to be reacting to this video that I came across the other day. Well, it's not really reacting because I kind of saw a little bit of it, but I want to share it. So I guess it's kind of reacting to it with you guys. It's an artist. Her name is Yumi, if you've heard of her. We're going to be reacting to this video that she did a while ago. Yeah, let's just watch the video. Okay. And I'm not going to play just so you guys know, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play like snippets of it because it is a really long video. I think it's like 50 minutes in total.
Healing, and I'm very excited to be sharing with you all a practice that has been a big part of my healing journey, breath work. How many of you have done breath work before? You, and raise your hand if it's your first time doing breath work. Yes, let's give a round of applause for our first timers. So breath work has been so transformative for me. There are many pathways to peace, but breath work has resonated with me, and since y'all resonate with my music, I definitely felt that this breath work would be of resonance with you, and so I felt very called to share. I remember a couple years ago, I was going through a really dark period in my life. I was experiencing a lot of dense emotions, moving through depression and anxiety, and I felt like nothing was really working for me. And a friend of mine was like, "Have you tried breath work before?" I was like, no, okay. So I tried it, found this video. I did a 20-minute breath work series, and when I opened my eyes at the end, I just felt like this cloud was lifted from my mind, and I was able to return back into a truer, lighter version of myself. And ever since I had that experience, I was like, I must share this with the people. Breathwork is a technology of the human body. It's a way for us to really tap into our true potential and live as our highest selves. And so the journey we're about to go on is going to be one of freedom. It's going to be one of releasing, and I am very excited to experience it in this beautiful dome. It's just so wonderful.
I'm just gonna skip forward some. So basically she has like I guess this is a woman who teaches her sound like what is breath work. She's her instructor, so she goes on to have her explain the science behind it, and that's the part that I'm going to skip to.
This while we do it. So the first breath is in through the mouth, and it's going to enter into the belly. Second breath is into your chest, and then you let it go. Nice and slow. Belly, into the chest, and then you let it go without force. One more time. Belly, chest, and let it go. So what we're doing is we're stimulating the nervous system. So I like to think about it as a roller coaster ride, and for the first part of the breath work, we're going up. So you're gonna feel that intensity as it rises up. We're gonna find a peak moment, and then we're gonna come down, which is going to balance and soothe the nervous system. And there's a few things that can happen when we're breathing quickly and through the mouth. And the first, probably what you notice, is the physical. So when we're in the physical, Umi, what happens.
Ooh. That experience, you might experience some lightheadedness, completely normal. You might feel some tingling in your body, also completely normal. And you might experience this thing we like to call claw hands, which is where your hands, maybe even your face, it starts to kind of claw up and form these different kind of postures. It's completely normal. It's kind of like when you get a little like cramp in your leg, but it doesn't hurt like a cramp. It's more so just your body tightening up. Don't fight it. Allow it to happen. I'd love for you to explain more of like the science behind that.
Yeah, so tetany based.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say that this is insane. One, there is a whole altar set up on the stage. She's wearing this big crystal. She's a witch. She's explaining to the people the physical things that might happen during this breathwork sound bath ritual, and she's telling them that you might feel cramps or you might feel lightheaded. Your wrist might start twitching. She's saying this is completely normal. This is not completely normal. This, first of all, that's not completely normal. Okay, let's continue.
Emotional and physical support right there with you. This is a safe space, and I am excited to journey together. So without further ado, go ahead and lay down on your mat. If you want to take a final sip of water, go ahead. I'm gonna take my socks off. Great reminder, make sure your phones are on silent, laptops are on silent as well, and or do not disturb. I'm gonna take my socks off for this one. And Miranda, wherever you are, I'd love to get another copal incense going up here. If you have a blanket, please feel free to wear your blanket. If you have an eye mask and or an extra piece of cloth, you can go ahead and use it as an eye mask. If you haven't already taken off your shoes, I would highly recommend.
Okay, so we're gonna skip a little bit to where they are actually doing the sound bath.
Yes. Ow. And last practice breath, stomach, chest. Ow. Beautiful. And now just breathe slowly in through your stomach, chest, and out. It reminds me that we are free to be who we are. We are free to experience it all. So if you're feeling it, allow it to move through you.
This is low-key scary. Like, I don't know. This is scary.
And Miranda, wherever you are.
This is like an actual ritual. I'm just wondering, like, in my mind, like, who in the crowd was like, I'm not gonna sit here for this. You know, this doesn't feel right. Who in the crowd like tested the spirits? Like, who in the crowd got up and was like, no, this is not for me? Like, did everybody just sit there and go along with this? Like, this is scary. Like, if I was in the crowd, I would have been like, oh no, I gotta go. Something's not right with this. Like, there's literally a whole altar set up on the stage. So that's how I'm gonna play for today. So what is breath work, right? If you Google breathwork in on Google, this is what comes up. It's a set of techniques that involve intentional changes in breathing patterns. It is a practice used to improve physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It sounds good, right? And I feel like a lot of these things, like a lot of the new age things, they portray it to sound so wonderful. Like, it sounds so good. Like, breathwork, like it helps me like physically, mentally, and emotionally to just be calm. Like, these things sound good, and oftentimes that's how the enemy presents things, right? Like at first it always sounds the best. Like crystals. Oh, this crystal is gonna bring me money, or this crystal is gonna bring me a husband. This crystal is gonna bring me, like, you know, these things sound good. If Satan presented to us sounding bad, we wouldn't want it, right? It originated in ancient India and China. It's been practiced for thousands of years. It's a holistic practice that promotes spiritual well-being. I don't know, I just feel like we have to start like looking up the where did this come from? You know, like if we looked up where it originated from, like who originated this, we will find out so much. I don't feel like enough people really take that step to say, I'm gonna look into this before I participate in this. So I was looking up some things, and there was many stories, but one of the stories that stood out to me was there was this study that was done in 1966 by a man named Growth and by his wife Christina. You could look this up. But this is when LSD was banned in the United States. So they wanted to turn to other methods. They wanted to experiment and basically see what could give me the same feeling as LSD. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what they wanted to do. So they turned to other methods that could possibly alter their states of consciousness, including they did breath work techniques. And their research actually revealed that specific breathing patterns combined with music and other sensory elements could include altered states of consciousness. So basically what they're saying is they tried breathwork, LSD was banned. So they wanted to experiment and see what could give me the same feeling as LSD. And they said that certain breathing patterns with music could alter your consciousness. Now, I don't know why somebody would want to alter their consciousness. Why do we always feel the need to alter something or to change something about us? Like there's this false perception that we are this God of our own worlds. We are our own God. If we don't like something about ourselves, we can just change it. Oh, if you don't have a man, girl, go buy a crystal. You're gonna get a man. Why is this false belief that we are our own gods? We're not a god. We're not our own gods. There's a God in heaven who's created you. He blew breath into you, that was stated in Genesis. Who are you to go and alter your consciousnness and try different breath patterns? Like, this is so unnatural. There's such an unnatural feeling about it. Like, is it just me? Like, there's such an unnatural feeling about going and trying other breath patterns. Like, why? What's wrong with just a simple breath pattern that God has given you? Why? What's the agenda behind it? I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be light shed on what's happening in the world. This is the sad truth that this generation, the things that we're into, like, these people are actually partaking in a ritual. This lady is performing a ritual on everyone in the audience, and what really bothers me the most is who got up and left. Like, did anyone think for themselves? I don't know if this was something that they had to pre-agree to, or that she already had informed them that, hey, this is what's going to be taking place at this concert. I don't know. But in that very moment, whether you knew about it or not, who said, this isn't feel right? Like, this doesn't feel right. Like, we have to start thinking, guys. I feel like there's such a spiritual slumber in this world that we just go along with any and everything without testing the spirits. The Bible tells us to test the spirits. When people present things to you, test the spirit. You don't have to go with everything. You don't have to do everything. Test the spirit. And she's not the only artist. This isn't just to throw hate or bash her and her concerts. No, she's not the only artist that's doing these things. There's other artists, many other artists, who are doing full-on rituals on their tours, at their concerts, and the audience is just partaking in this. I just want to know, like, why do we always have to go to all of these counterfeits of peace, of love, of joy, when there's just one source that can give you everything that you want, everything that you ask for, and it's God. Like, we'd rather take 1,000 shortcuts than just the one way, that's God. All of this is New Age witchcraft. All of this has become normal. For every believer under the sound of my voice right now, I just really want to encourage and force that you don't need to partake in any of this. Don't tolerate any of this. As believers, we're supposed to be the ones that like, nah, this is not of God. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel like you have to sit there and go through this. Don't be the silenced believer. Don't allow Satan to silence you. Don't tolerate this nonsense. You don't have to tolerate this nonsense. Just because your friends are going to a Beyonce concert doesn't mean that you have to go. Just because your friends are interested in going and visiting psychics doesn't mean you have to go. And instead of being the friend that's just like, oh, go ahead, I'm not gonna go, how about you also lift up your voice to tell them, hey, by the way, that's not of God, that goes against what I believe, and spread light on these false narratives. The majority of us are in a spiritual slumber. We're blind. It's like Satan has succeeded at completely blinding the majority of us. There are veils on our eyes and we are blind. And you know what? Satan is so happy about it. I know there's some people that's probably watching right now and they're like, I don't believe in all of that. Or there's some people who actually live like this and they're like, well, you know what? I don't believe that there's a heaven or there's a hell. That's your belief. And it's sad because in your disbelief, Satan is taking full advantage of it and he is deceiving you. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, whether you want to hear it or not, heaven is a place and hell is a place. God is real. Satan is real. I know so many people don't want to talk about it. So many people don't want to hear about it, but you need to hear about it. You need to talk about it because it's the truth. You're in a spiritual slumber and you need to wake up. The end times are near. Do you see the way that the world is going? How can you look at all this stuff? All the celebrities in Hollywood pushing this agenda, all of these celebrities in Hollywood mocking Jesus Christ. How can you sit there and look at all this wickedness taking place and say there is no such thing as a Satan? Satan thrives off of the non-believer. He thrives off of you because he gets to deceive you. But it's time for us as Christians, as believers, to speak against this stuff, to expose the agenda of Satan. Wicked rituals, these wicked demonic agendas to innocent people, to people who probably genuinely want to find peace and they think that this is the way, but it's not the way. I just want to remind you guys that the Bible says, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. We have to start asking ourselves, what is this that I'm partaking in? Who is this glorifying? What agenda is this pushing? Whether you want to believe it or not, there is a spiritual battle, warfare happening all around us right now. And Satan is trying to trap as many souls as he can. And this is not to bash anybody who doesn't believe. We have to go through the journey in finding Christ. So it's not to say or to bash the non-believer. Just to say that it's time to wake up. It's time to start seeking the truth. You can't be all right with all that's going on in the world right now and think that, oh, this is all that it is. There's more, and I just want you guys to start seeking the truth and pray and ask God to remove the veils off of your eyes. If you feel like I just can't believe in all this stuff, it's probably because you've been deceived by Satan. And the best thing for you to do is to pray and to just ask God, God, please remove the veils off of my eyes, and I want the truth. Whatever the truth is, God, reveal it to me, and he will reveal it to you. There's nothing more that the enemy loves than an idle mind. Guys, I just want to encourage you to seek the Lord like never before in these times, to open up that Bible. Yeah, guys, it is time to start exposing the enemy and all of the evil agendas that he is pushing onto us. If you watched this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something. And most of all, I hope that you leave here seeking truth and just praying to God to remove the veils off of your eyes. If you don't do anything else, leave here seeking God. And I love you guys. Stay tuned for more content. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be safe and stay in prayer. Love you. Bye.